So last month we finished off with some Hunter x Hunter, and we're starting off with some more. So this one turned out quite well. This ear off to the left was definitely not drawn right the first time, but I was able to correct it quite well. This half body image here allowed me to try things like bodies and hands using the ink pen. I think it helps that he doesn't exactly have humanoid proportions in any of his body, so that helped to kind of mask some of the little tiny errors. Next up I did these two big images of Nene. The one on the left here, the face is definitely not great. The body's definitely a little bit better. The one on the right is closer to what it should look like, and you can see where I've tried to match the show's art style as well by thickening up some of these lines on the arms and the face. Sticking with Hanako-kun, we've got the titular character here. Now here's something I didn't expect to be difficult: hats. Both of these images are way off. It looks like the hat is sat on top of his head rather than him wearing the hat. It should be way lower down and way shorter in terms of height. So I wanted to try and redeem myself with this full page image of Hanako. It also allowed me to practice things like legs, shoes and shading as well. Moving back to using the reference sheets, we have Simon from Gurren Lagann. You can definitely see where I've tried to play around with having some really thick outlines to emphasise certain parts of this sketch. And of course then I had to do Kamina after that. These two didn't come out quite as well as I hoped, but they are quite difficult angles, so I'll give myself some forgiveness there. So after that I decided to jump into the Fate universe, more specifically Fate Zero. So this one's actually quite interesting because Alexander has something that many anime characters don't, which is facial hair. Similar to how you have to be mindful how hair interacts with the top of the head, you really need to think about how a beard and sideburns interact with the face and the jaw. Although in this case it really did help because it meant that I didn't have to draw either of those two. So sticking with the Fate motif, we have a couple here of Saber. I really liked how these turned out, especially with the shading. We've got a couple here of Kiritsugu as well. Ignore this one on the right, the face really didn't come out how I expected. And I must have been bored this day as well to have this little coat Mina here. So for the final Fate sketch, we have two here of Gilgamesh. I like the left one quite a lot. The right one I tried to pick more of an unhinged look, and I did mess up a little bit here with the mouth that I tried to hide with shading, but not too bad overall. So for this one I decided to bust out the big guns. I really wanted to push the limits of these dark shadows and how they could be used for emphasis, so I used these two pens in order to help with the inking process. You can see here where I made a rookie mistake and smudged some of the ink along his cheek, but overall I'm quite happy with how this one turned out. Jumping back over to anime, we have these of Freerun. I kind of ran out of space here and just decided to do a little quick sketch. These two are the proper ones. And wherever Freerun is, Fern isn't too far behind. You can see where the faces and the jaws are starting to get better, especially compared to last month, but I am still struggling in this regard. So here's one where I combined two of the volume covers from Queen's Quarter. The art styles on the cover use a more painterly look, which can be difficult to try and capture with an ink pen, but I think I did an okay job here. Just some of the lips might look a little bit off. So that's where we're going to leave it off for this month. I think I've made a lot of progress, especially when switching over to just using the pen. It's helped me to really hone in on the features that make a piece really stand out. And it's also allowed me to draw a lot quicker as well. So next month we're just going to continue on going through the sketchbook and drawing more pieces like this, just to continue practicing these skills. So as always, thank you for watching, follow me on Blue Sky for daily updates, and see you next month.